Hello, I am Giridhar Jha. The latest issue of Outlook is out. It has hit the stands today. And in this issue, we have dealt with a very topical issue. Law is a bully. These days, several cases have been lost for violation of sedition laws. There have been cases lodged on flimsy grounds, on trivial issues. So, to discuss sedition and other draconian laws, I have with us Bhavna Vijayarora, our political editor, and Mr. Pranay Sharma, our foreign editor. Bhavna, what do you have to say about these charges that these laws, most of which were constituted during British era,
yes,
and even the NSA, which were constituted later, are they being misused by the law enforcing agencies?
Yes, they are being misused to an extent because it is the easiest thing. Because, for example, in sedition is a broad-based law. And anything that is, and it is very subjective, the interpretation is pretty subjective. So anything that you say, write, can be interpreted as something that goes against the nation, the idea of the nation, which is seen as anti-national. So this is subjective, and many times law enforcement agencies, police and everyone, they take the easier option, because if they have to investigate and everything, it will take some time. So under these laws, you have the freedom. The enforcement agencies have the thing that they can arrest without a warrant. For example, even in that National Security Act, in fact, you don't even have to tell the person why you are arresting that person. So they are being misused. One, because political reasons. Second, laziness, because they don't want to investigate properly. And JNK, it was used, NSA was being used very liberally, not just in JNK, when the terrorism was at a height, and in Mumbai it has been used very frequently, in Delhi it has been used, in many places, northeast. So all these laws have been used extremely frequently, and many of them have not ended in conviction. That is the thing.
There have been growing demand to scrap these laws, especially the sedition laws. Do you think it will be right to scrap these laws altogether, or there should be some kind of amendment or modification in these laws?
No, you can't scrap them completely. All laws can be misused. I mean, we have dowry laws which have been misused. So many have been misused. So the thing is to use them judiciously. So for that, the police has to be kind of trained in everything. They have to be told when to use it and when not to. And anyway, the courts take a stand later, but which comes later after that point that the person who has been booked under that law has gone through a lot of suffering or whatever. In many cases, many of them are right also.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bhavna, I had a question here.
Yes.
Now, basically, I mean, it's not the police who decide, it's the political masters, who ask them to use this law. And very rarely a police officer sees this. I mean, it's very difficult for them to defy, if such orders come. So I think, more than that, there should be a debate within the political structure, among the political parties, that these laws are important, but they should not be misused. When you misuse them or use them at the drop of a hat, the seriousness of such laws goes, It gets totally diluted.
Yes, I agree. And in fact, in case of UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, which was TADA earlier, which was later amended to POTA. So there have been occasions when the Parliament also has taken cognizance of this. There have been debates, and they have amended the laws, basically to make them a little more
add a human face.
Yes, to add a human face to it.
Okay.
Because in recent times, people have been charged with sedition in cases of cow smuggling. People have been charged with sedition for dancing to a DJ song, and all those kind of incidents. These are not serious offences.
Cow slaughter was NSA, National Security Act was.
So, do you think that that is more because of the political interference, or because of the power vested in the local police?
It is, I think, for cow slaughter, if you're using NSA, it is, I think, more political than anything else. And in Madhya Pradesh, we have seen that. So Madhya Pradesh earlier had the BJP government, which was doing it, and the Congress was criticizing it. But now that they are in power, they are doing the same thing, because they know if they have to, and now with Lok Sabha elections coming, they know, so they have to continue with that. Even they can't afford at this time to take on the right-wing forces or the Hindutva thing or be seen as going lax on cow slaughter.
Pranay, this Lok Sabha set a record of abolishing 1400 archaic laws. So, do you think there should have been a relook at, if not a scrapping, maybe a relook at sedition laws or maybe other some kind?
Yes, I get that. Fundamentally, I think what the issue here is that a lot of our laws, which were framed by the British, have been still in use. So when they looked at these laws, it was a ruler, a foreign ruler which was looking at the Indians here. After independence, I think there should have been a very serious attempt to look at which laws are valid, because it's a democratically elected, these are elected government, people's representative. So can you use the same kind of laws which a foreign ruler used on you? So I think, that's the crux of the issue here. I think a proper review is required in this. So laws which shouldn't be there should be scrapped. And many of the laws, you should look at it that fundamentally it's not the law. If you're throwing away the law, it's like almost the case of throwing the baby with the bathwater. It's not that. Yeah. You have to be very, very careful how you use, when you use, what is the occasion. Does it merit that such laws should be used?
So, do you think that these cases, in many states we have seen public outcry against the institution of these cases, will it have any kind of bearing on coming Lok Sabha elections?
No, I don't think it's going to have any bearing. And it is just that politically they are trying to make this an issue and trying to, like I said, they are trying to come across as somebody who's not very anti-Hindutva or something. For example, Congress has to fight BJP on that ground. And but ultimately I don't think politically it will give too much benefit to them. Because like I said, most of these cases have failed to secure a conviction in the court. They're all thrown out by the court.
Okay.
And the police has to face a lot of criticism from the courts on these grounds.
Yeah, in 70% cases they have not been able to.
Absolutely.
So there are other interesting stories and in this issue. One interesting package is on India's relationship with Saudi Arabia. This is a very interesting phenomenon. Now you have done this story.
That's right.
What is so unique about India and Saudi Arabia are getting closer now than ever before? Because India has traditionally been closer to Iran, who is a rival of Saudi Arabia.
See,
what is the new dimension?
In a way, we've had strong relations with Iran, but we've also had strong relations with Saudi Arabia. At one time, there was a patch when, during the Cold War, when the two sides saw themselves, in different camps. So there was, even then Indira Gandhi had won in 1982, actually, even at the height of Cold War. So it's not a question that contacts were not there, contacts have always been there. Iran has its own importance, but Saudi Arabia is very important for India because it is the largest supplier of our energy needs, for energy security. We have about 3 billion people, Indian, who live there and work there, who send billions of dollars every year, as remittance. It is also the custodian of the two holy mosques. So a large number of Muslim pilgrims from here every year, and India has one of the largest number who go for Hajj every year. So all that makes, and it is the leader of the Islamic world. So all that makes Saudi Arabia very, very important. It's a country in a very crucial region for us, West Asia. And this particular package that I've done, it is pegged on the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, who will be here from the 19th to 20th, his visit. The importance of the Crown Prince is because he is the future face of Saudi Arabia. He is young and he has already initiated a lot of reforms within the country and also in terms of Riyadh's relation with other countries. So it's good that he comes here, and even though elections are going to take place in a couple of months, and he didn't hesitate to come here, though it's part of an Asian tour. He's going to other countries also, but he didn't leave out India from his tour program. His father had actually done the same thing when he was the Crown Prince, who's now the King Salman. In 2014, when he came in February, it was the Congress government which posted him. But in a few months' time, by May, it was Narendra Modi who became the Prime Minister. So what I think the signal from Saudi Arabia is that yes, they have good relations and rapport with the leader of the day or with the government of the day, but they want stronger relation with India, between the two countries. I think therefore it has become so much important. Moreover, there is a lot of investment possibility, both from Saudi Arabia into India, because government has been taking a number of steps to make it a very attractive investment destination. Similarly, in Saudi Arabia, their Vision 2030, that is also attracting a lot of. They are trying to diversify from oil economy into other parts. So Indians are a big player there. India already has a presence, and they want to expand that. So I think that it's a very, very important one.
But Saudi Arabia traditionally has been known, in layman's terms, it has been closer to Pakistan than compared to India. Do you think?
I think that has shifted. Yes, they continue to be in Pakistan. Rather, in this the travel program of the Crown Prince, he will also go to Pakistan. But for a while now, Saudi Arabia has been dehyphenating the two relations. Pakistan is important for them, but so is India, and for different reasons. So there is no reason just because we have good relations with Pakistan, we can't have good relations with India. And I think Indian leadership has also, become much more mature, where they don't really bother about such things. When we have a good relation with the country, fine. It stands on its own merit. Yes, of course, if the problems that we have vis-a-vis Pakistan during discussions about the region development and all that, that may come up between two friends. And if a country which is friendly to both can put in some good sense into the other country, it always is in your advantage. But we don't look our relation through the Pakistani prism, or how Pakistan will react, or what is their relation with Pakistan. It's a standalone kind of relation, and that is why we are satisfied.
You talked about Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, but I believe India also has a similar Vision 23. Are they going to complement each other?
I think that is, because one of the Saudi Arabia is already, along with UAE, in oil sector, they have gone into Ratnagiri, in one of the big projects where $44 billion worth of investment is there. They have taken more than 50% stakes along with in the Indian government. So these are the big first step that we see, and we see in future many more that's going to happen, because the ease of doing business, which the government has taken a number of steps, makes it attractive, and India remains a big market, not only for Saudi Arabia but for a number of other countries. And Saudi Arabia, which has its own Vision 2030, trying to diversify its economy, will also look at India as a major investment destination.
This issue also has a big bouquet of political stories. Among them, one interesting story is on the interesting development with Karnataka.
Yes.
Given the verdict in the assembly polls of Karnataka, did you see it coming, the kind of things are happening in Karnataka?
Well, it is not unexpected, because BJP being out of power in Karnataka, after being the single largest party, I think they are going to try. They are going to try their best, and I think till Lok Sabha election, this is going to continue. These things are going to continue in Karnataka, and it's not the end of it.
Also, we have an interesting story on the popularity of erotica on the OTT, over-the-top platforms. How these movies are being watched by millions of people. Given the popularity of these films on OTT platform, do you think that censorship has become redundant, because these films are not subjected to any kind of censorship in India? They are being directly telecast or beamed. So that is one of the reasons that such movies are coming up.
See, even when there was censorship, I thought, even in our growing up period, let's not be coy about this, we all knew and how to beat the system in a way, and go for it. It's a question of, age is there, a particular thing, but when you go matured, you are becoming older, you should try and see that, I mean, eroticism in India has always been a part of our culture. It has been celebrated, in fact. Not to get a distorted view of this, It can remain side by side. We have a number of other strong parts in our culture also. So to have a balance between the two, because banning has never ever helped anything. It makes it even more attractive, I think.
And the government has been mulling censoring the web also, the web world.
But do you support the idea that there should be a censorship for
I don't.
OTT platform?
No, I think it should be left to the makers of these web series or films and everything. That even if it is how to present it in probably a little more tasteful manner, which is kind of when it is made available to the viewers.
So all these stories make for a very interesting issue of Outlook this week, which has hit the stands today. Please go and grab a copy now. Thank you very much.